Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Joy. So today we'll be drafting this baby ball gown, this frock gown. So we'll be drafting it like we'll be cutting this dress in this particular tutorials. So I use 1 yard of dye chiffon, 3 yards of mikado, 2 yards of lining, zip, thread, and light gunstay. Alright, just know that everything there is optional. The main thing you need is the mikado and the chiffon, zip and thread. The waist measurement is 24 and I'm going to times it by 3, which gave me 72 inches. Now 72 inches, I'm going to divide it by 2, which gave me 36 inches. That is to say the head of the peplum will be 36 inches. Do you understand? Because this is a 700 degree flay, that is to say it's two flay through 360 flay that we are going to join into two to give us 720 degree. Do you understand? Now you can decide to divide that 36 by 8, or you can also divide it by 6 or 6.2528. Anyone, any pattern that you really want to use there, you use. But for me, I will use this 36 divided by 6, and whatever thing give me is what my edge flay will be. That is what I'm going to use. I don't need too much calculation. I'm just using this phone. So but the half length is 10.5 and the full length is this 28 inches. So we're going to remove this 10.5 from this 28.5 to get the full length. So if you minus it, you'll be getting 18 inches. Now that 18 inches plus that 6, that is 24 inches. That is to say we are looking for a length of 24 inches times 2. Do you understand? So what I did is, instead of doing 24 inches times 2, which is 48, I just have 50 by 50. Like this now is 25 because it's folded into 2. And this length is 50. Do you understand? If I open this fabric now, it will be 50 by 50. Alright, so this is how to fold it. You just come by that center, that 25, that center, and fold it into 2 again, and it becomes into 4. Do you understand? Sorry, I don't know when my camera's changed to this way, but it will also get back to the normal way now. So I will come down by this 6 inches. That 36 divided by 6, that is 6 inches. That is what I will come down by. That folded edge round 6 inches, 6 inches. Also note that you can decide to fold this particular fabric again. That is, it will now be folded into 4. Do you understand? Which is into 8. Like this is folded into 4. If you fold it again now, it will come into 8. And then from this 6 inches, I'm going to get a length of 18 inches. Note that I added my folding allowance before I got that 18 inches. So if you did not add your own, now you're going to add your own folding allowance. Now from that edge, you check what you have and you get it round. Let it be that 24 inches that we're looking for now. That's how you are getting to carefully mark it round and channel it together. Can you see? That is it. So just take your time. When you come down by that 6 inches and mark it from that 6 inches, you come down by your 18 inches and then you get that your length round, mark it, and then you're going to cut it out. Can you see? So you can always fold it like this. When you fold it like this, it's now said you are folded into 8, which is to say if you fold it into 8, that small 6 inches part, if you use your tape now and measure it, it will become 4.5. Do you understand? So you cut it out and then you use this one and cut another one. It's either you cut another one just the same way you folded this one into 4 and cut it out, or you just cut this my pattern, spread the remaining fat material, then use this circle flare you've already cut, place on top like this, and trace it out. So whichever one you want to do is very okay here. You can just take your time like this, pin it down if you want, just cut it round, or better still, anyone. Can you see how I cut a little open there so that I will be able to cut out the circle? So whichever way you want to do it is fine, but this is the pattern I'm using here. So I just spread the remaining mikado and I use the one I've already cut, place on top, and I cut it out. So it's two now. So I fold it into two like this, make it equal so that it can open one side. The length of this line is 40 by 40, and when you fold it into two it becomes 20. Now you're going to fold it again like this. All right, so this is 20 inches length I have here. Just get the 20 inches round, and then you are going to mark the waist. The length I use here is just 3.5. Just get this 20 inches round. Do you understand? Before you go to that waist and mark 3.5. That's if you're using the same measurement with me. If you're not using the same measurement with me, you're going to divide it by your measurement. So I don't want this lining to have printing or gathers at the waist. I want it to be the waist, accurate waist measurement. So you do your own waist. My own waist is 24 inches. So you do your waist here, whatever thing you get by your waist, just divide it by 6. Do your own waist here. All right. So, but just make sure that your lining is at least 4 inches shorter than your main material. And you open only one side because this is 360-degree flame. Now for the half length, this side I went in by 1 inch, which is the zipper allowance. Then I came down from the shoulder parts 1 inch to, which is the shoulder. Now this shoulder I'm going to measure, this is it, 1 inch. So you get the length you want. Here I use 10.5. Also remember that you add half inch that you will use to join it to the down. So you get them on a straight line. Use your ruler and mark them on a straight line. And then the half inch that you use and join it to the down. So that's this your shoulder now. You get your shoulder divided by 2 minus half an inch because of the puff sleeve. So the shoulder I use there is supposed to be 10, but I use 9.5. And then you're going to connect it. You come down by half inch and connect it. That is your shoulder slope of half inch is what I use here. You can use 3/4. So here I came down at the armhole by 5. Remember, if your own does not have sleeve, you're supposed to do that 4.5, which is also 9. You understand? But because my own have sleeve, I have to add half an inch to it so that she can be able to raise her hands up. Alright, so at this same chest line, I'll divide my measurement by 2. Remember, I'm using 24 inches and I added 1 inch for my allowance, but you can add as much as you want. Now at the waistline, you get your waist divided by 4 plus your allowance. I also use 1 inch here. Please pardon my voice. I've been down with cold for some time now. So you can take this line to that your joining allowance. So I will come here and divide what I have here by 2, which is 2.5, and I will come in by 0.25. You can do half an inch. Kindly note that this particular pattern I'm using it to cut the front and the back together. So I'm going to connect it like this. But when I'm cutting it out, I'll cut out outside first because this one, the one I enter inside, is for the front. Do you understand? Now take this line to the zipper allowance part and then you add your half an inch for your shoulder joining. Another way you can add this shoulder joining is by expanding your neck measurement. Like if your width is something like 3, you just do 3.5, so that when you remove that half it will still balance. But instead of you to add half inch for joining, you will now do 1 inch. Do you understand? Now just watch how I'm going to cut this. You can also go ahead to cut your neck width now, but because of that gathers I added, I did not cut my neck width immediately. So I'm gonna have to trace the back. This is the back. I've traced it and I'll use this one to trace the back. Now it's either you fold your zipper allowance inside or you cut it out, whichever one you want is okay. For me, I will cut it out and then I'll go and cut that armpit, that 0.25 I enter inside. I'm going to cut it out so that I can use this same pattern paper to cut the front. So just take your time, cut it out, and use it to cut at the front. But before you cut the front, we are going to modify this. All right, so you can go ahead and cut your neck width too. Now I'm coming in by 1.5, but I'll have to come down by 3 inches first, which is my neck depth. So you can also go ahead to cut your neck now, but because I using chiffon, it's too light, so I have to do it when I've added an interface to it. So at this side, what you just do at that side is to come in by 2 inches or 1.5, whichever one is good. Remember that this upside is 1.5, right? Now you're going to connect this 1.5 to that 2 inches. So dotted line is another thing that works very well if you don't have all those pattern curve, all those stuff. Just use dotted line. Dotted line will help you. When you get the dotted line, then you will now mark it, cut it out, and then you use it to trace your materials. So this is just to know the place that will join. Can you see? And I added half an inch for the joining. You understand? For the joining like that. So now I will remove the pins that I use and pin this down, and then we'll proceed to joining. Alright, just iron your interface with if you're using chiffon. But if you're using a strong material, no need. Alright, this stripe is 50 inches length and 2.5 inches width. So I'm going to fold one side. You fold one side and then you gather the other side. Please, this is the cutting. You have to watch the next video to see the sewing part. Thank you very much for stopping by, and I'll see you in my next one. Thank you very much. Bye.